I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we've got a good one on tap between America's team, the Dallas Cowboys, and the New York Giants. With that, let's get up to MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They'll be led out by the former Cal Bear, Aaron Rodgers.
I love just about everything about him. Love his game, love his makeup, love his moxie. One of my favorite words. This guy's a competitor. Gritty, tough, you name it, he's got it. But he did throw an interception in last week's game. That contributed to a loss. And despite the fact he threw 3 touchdown passes, he's going to be out there redoubling his efforts and trying to play better.
The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. Here's the offense, and we give you too much power here. We let you highlight the player. Why'd you choose Zeitler?
Because I think the big guys up front never get enough credit. Kevin Zeitler, a guard, tough, nasty. We've got to give him some love.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Rodgers going to throw. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Giants. Evan Ingram, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. So here now the Cowboy offense onto the field to get their first crack at it. And they will be led out by their 6'4 quarterback.
It's pretty much become the norm when we see guys come out before a game and go through the route tree with their receivers. I thought it was exciting for us to see the exact same thing happen in practice.
He's so meticulous, isn't he?
He really is, and that tells me it's not just a one-time-a-week thing. They work on it all the time, trying to hone that fine edge. They want to see if they can get in sync and stay in sync in this one.
Throwing to start the drive, Rodriguez. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. The offensive starters now for the Cowboys.
I can't help but chuckle a little bit every time I think about Zach Martin and the controversy, air quotes there, about him being picked by the Cowboys because many thought that another player was going to be picked in that spot. But they made the right call in getting Zach Martin. Versatile player, played guard and tackle in college, and uses that versatility to his great advantage in the NFL. Immediately was an all-pro and continues to play to that level.
The numbers for Hunter Henry from a week ago. Well north of 100 yards receiving. He was hard to stop. The only thing they did well defensively, they didn't allow him to get in the end zone.
And that's small comfort for them because he actually carved them up. I love his versatility. I love his route running. Ran the entire route tree. They hit him on deep shots, quick hitters, balls over the middle, balls to the sideline. He was everywhere.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
The 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. It's a gain of 34. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? Five or more yards each time, that's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. And right side, Henry's got it. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Back to throw. Rodriguez. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Grant. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Pretty solid start for the rookie here on this first drive, Charles.
Able to have some confidence, stepping back into the pocket, move around a little bit, find open receivers, and deliver. That just means his confidence is going to continue to grow because he's getting more and more comfortable with each completed pass.
Back to throw again. That is caught. It's Cooper for the Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper with his 16th touchdown of the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And New York set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Over the middle, complete to Tate. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Well, look now at our starting defense. They currently sit at number 4 in the NFL in terms of stopping the run.
And I've loved watching this unit on tape because throughout this season, I've seen them do all the right things. They're about as talented a group as I've seen, and they know how to stop the run.
Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Returnable for Grant. A great return there of 22 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display. A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On 2nd down now, it's Elliott, and he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a 1st down, keep the sticks moving.
On 1st down, Elliott. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Now, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
2nd and 3. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Now Rodriguez from the gun on 3rd down. This is caught inside the 15. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Rodriguez, off play action. Buying time to his left. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
Maybe worse than the loss of yardage, they also lose the down. So now it's 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Rodriguez. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. Maybe a little fortunate there. That was leaking a little, maybe leaking a lot, but he got it.
Yeah, he actually was able to make it work. How about the body language, though, right? As he's watching that ball leak to the right, trying to bring it back in. And had just enough to get it done.
Here we go.
New York set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3 and out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack.
Got him. Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility, the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And that will be incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
I don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game because you can. It's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. And a bunch of them goes on the play.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for...
This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Cowboys. Amari Cooper, his second touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Cowboys are able to show off their quick strike ability. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. After one, 17-7 is our score. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. A give to Barkley out of the gun. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards on the play, first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
On play action, it's Rodgers. Finding Sterling Shepard for his first catch. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. The tackle made by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. On second down, here's Barkley. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. 2 yards on the first down carry and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on third down to keep the drive going. Throwing now is Rodgers. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front seven? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
Cowboy offense heading out. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. If this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
On second down, Elliott. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Here's Rodriguez on third down. And that is incomplete. So drive 1, they had the field goal. Drive 2, touchdown. And now here on drive 3, looks like they're going to have to punt.
At least they were finally able to reverse the trend because giving up the field goal, then the touchdown, it's almost like they finally got to the offensive side of the ball and said, okay, we've got the system to shut you down. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. New York set to take the field. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Saquon Barkley. And for a second straight play, that Cowboy defense gets him to the ground behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
On third down, Barkley. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. Amari Cooper and the rest of the offense heading back out there now. And his 2 touchdowns, a big reason they're winning right now.
So meaningful when you score and it's got your team out there in front. Changes the complexion of everything you're doing. It's one thing to score, garbage time, but these count. This is a big deal, and he's making those types of plays, and I think they'll keep finding ways to get it to him.
I was just going to say probably going to go back to him. Rodriguez now on 1st and 10. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Nick Vigil coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player. Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
You don't want nothing. You don't want nothing. Hey, you don't want to see me.
To throw is Rodriguez on 3rd and 2. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. Third catch of this first half for him, and this one is a first down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage, so they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 11 yards there, first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10.
Let's go.
Back to throw. Rodriguez. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. This will be caught at about the 5. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. It's a first down on a gain of 10. Now Rodriguez operating from the gun. This will be caught at about the 5. Nothing on that one. It'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. One man in the backfield. That's Elliott on 2nd and goal. 2nd and 2. This is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Marr now to add the extra point. And the lead is up to 14. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. As the Giants head back out there, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Now Rodgers. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Throwing is Rodgers. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on second down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Now Rodgers completes this again to Shepard. The Giants going to burn their third and final timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1.
Watch the run, watch the run.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Elliott a first down and more. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott with his 14th touchdown of the year, second of the game. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go!
As the Giants head back out there, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. A first down carry for Barkley. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3.
They'll run it again with Barkley. Now Barkley stripped of the football. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A big run that time by Elliott. 42 yards. So all the way down close to the goal line. Good blocking up front. Helped to spring him.
When this drive is over, he's got to get to the bench and sing kumbaya with the offensive line, doesn't he? Big-time openings for him. Gets him all the way down to the 2-yard line. Let's see if they can pound it in.
Rodriguez off the bootleg. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Well, those two have hooked up for a touchdown once already in this game, that time unable to find the completion.
Yeah, it just appeared they wanted to get him out into open space and try and get him the football. As you mentioned, unable to connect.
Looking to throw. Rodriguez. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal. Back to throw. Rodriguez. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Give the sack to Lorenzo Carter.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it, but how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open. Left him nowhere to go with the football. Had to absorb the sack.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Let's go, let's go!
And New York set to take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly
you
right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled.
Looking for Tate, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Rodriguez throwing to start the drive. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. Here we go on 2nd and 12. Throw left side complete. That's Elliott. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Come on, let's go.
Rodriguez now. From the gun, he'll throw to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Here's a 2nd and 7. And this is caught. It's Cooper. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal.
I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that will bring up an interesting decision here on 4th and goal. Marr able to put this one through. And that will extend their lead even further. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
And New York set to take the field. And last time, one-play interceptions. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty as a result of that hit there.
They go play action here on first down. It's hauled in by Shepard. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll make it a second down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Rodgers now to throw. And the pass is intercepted. He was looking for Ingram. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And he will score. Touchdown, Cowboys. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And New York set to take the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. David Moore, the intended target, but now it's third down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. And the Giants send out their punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. They'll look to set up his blockers. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball, making sure it gets to the right people, no errors, right? Not turning it over, and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Yeah, been a good leadership and a good distributor. He rifles one that's intercepted. B.J. Goodson with a pick, and the return stops at the 39-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Here's Rodgers to throw. Well, this is Shepard on the catch. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. Here's Rodgers. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he's got it all the way down to the 12-yard line. 19 yards the pickup there. Move the chains.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now it's Rodgers. Pass incomplete.
Well, you know you don't want to make a mistake in that area, so you make sure you make a smart throw. Throw it out towards the sidelines. If you overshoot your guy, so be it. It's just the incompletion that we saw there.
On second down, Barkley. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And the Giants are able to cut into this lead.
We know that the big guys won't get the credit, Brandon, but we also know that that touchdown belongs to them. Excellent job of clearing the way for their running back.
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. We get a look now at the Giants' defense as they file into position. Now the interception for them the last time, and that turned into 6 points.
You think during their break they reminded the offense that, hey, we helped you guys out a little bit, right? You know, they want to see if they can do it again for them. They're putting together an entire team game by how they're playing on defense.
So the interception the last drive, what will happen here?
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, complete. That's Elliott. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 27 yards there, a first down. Looking to throw. Rodriguez. Wide open, Amari Cooper. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. So the drive takes them into Giants territory now. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. B.J. Goodson there on the tackle.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
To throw is Rodriguez. Looking to throw on 2nd down. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 24-yard line. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Now Rodriguez off the play fake. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Jakeem Grant with touchdown number 12 on the year as his guys continue to pour it on.
So whatever happened to rookie quarterbacks taking time to adjust to life in the NFL? Because this guy looks like he's been doing it for about, 7 years? 4 touchdown passes? That's not something rookies are supposed to be doing with the ease in which he's doing it.
Extra point by Marr, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Following the touchdown, here's Marr to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. As the Giants head back out there, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Rodgers to throw again. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Tate, and he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Shotgun now for Rodgers. It's caught. Shepard. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
Let's go.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Rodgers to the right side, and he's got more complete. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for him.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
It's complete to Grant. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. He got 29 yards that time. You ready for a Captain Obvious comment?
Let's go. Go with it, please.
He had the 5 picks last week. He's got to be much more pleased. Just the 1 interception. They've got the lead here in the 4th.
And not only is he pleased, his entire team is. Because throwing those 5 interceptions affects everyone. That's extra work for your defense and not enough possessions for your offense. He's flipped that ratio around in this game.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Back to throw. Rodriguez. Throw right side, taken in by Gallup. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 15-yard line. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era when we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Looking to throw. Rodriguez. That ball is caught. It's Gallup. Touchdown, Cowboys. Michael Gallup, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Right there. 50.
Throwing again on second down. Rodgers, and he's got the hook up to Moore. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 7 yards there and a first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Give him 18 there, and the Giants have a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
That throw good for 4. It's second down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Looking to throw again on second down. Rodgers, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. The Giants on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. And he's got his target. That's Moore. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 32-yard line. Rodgers going to throw.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a plane to catch.
Now a play fake here on first down. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Credit Julian Love with a pass breakup. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Grant. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe. They're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
Going for the deep ball. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Now it looks like he'll throw here. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with this one. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Cowboys, a final win here means they'll finish at 14-2. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for the Giants, this loss will be the capper to a dismal 4-12 campaign. And with some high picks coming in this spring's draft, it's a team for whom a roster overhaul may be on the way. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.